You're in Braves country. Welcome back into the fold as we are still setting up. I got one monitor going as we do Angels Dodgers as 3-1 Angels. So good news for everyone who's pulling for Travis Darnold and company. Bad news for everyone who's pulling for Freddie Freeman and company. Dodgers are at bats, the top of the second inning, so you've only missed the one inning. The first pitch on the way is inside for a ball. It's 1-0. 1-0. Righty-righty matchup. Swing, pops it up high in the sky. Into center field as the sun starts to set here in Anaheim. For a loud out number one, F8 in your scorecard, one down. 1 up, 1 down. Michael Conforto comes to the plate. Righty-lefty matchup. Medeiros fires the first pitch in there. It's a slider. 89 miles an hour at the knees. It's 0-1. We'll go ahead and bring the screen in for you so you can see what's going on here. The 0-1. Brings it. 96. Misses. 1-1. 1-1 count. Now the puppies have already ate their dinner. I was sending them outside so they could use the restroom. Of course, one of them always jumps in the damn pool. Doesn't matter what time of night it is. She came back to the door just dripping. I'm like, are you serious right now? Whatever, get in here. We don't have time to mess with this. So 1-2 count. They get cheese at the 7th inning stretch there. The 1-1. Right there, top of the zone. Caught, looking strike 3. Change up on the outer edge. 2 down. Good pitch there. The pitcher, Medeiros, for the Angels is essentially an opener, but he's at 25 pitches. They haven't pulled him yet. First pitch on the way, 96 outside. It's 1-0. He threw 1 inning his last time out in July. He did go 3 innings in his first outing beginning of the year. Spent most of his season down in the minors. The 1-0, fouls it back, 1-1. Emmett Sheehan is the pitcher for the other side, and he was the pitcher who was supposed to be piggybacking Shohei Ohtani, and they've stretched him into an actual starter, but he has not done that great. The 1-1 down and in, 2-1. Not for Dodger standards. He's a top prospect. They're still waiting for him to kind of turn that corner. That's who's on the mound tonight for the Dodgers. I don't know if y'all saw the controversy with Shohei Ohtani again is the 2-1. Outside wide sinker, nowhere near the zone, 3-1. It's in some kind of a controversy where him and his agent are being accused of some kind of fraud in Hawaii as the 3-1 swing and a miss, 3-2. That's what they're being accused of. I don't know how much actual evidence there is, but that's what they're being accused of some kind of, I don't know, it had something to do with the $240 million estate that it sounded like from people who were answering back and forth that it's a stunt being pulled by the people they said they were buying it from. It's the slider outside wide, ball 4, and they'll head on down to first, and the Dodgers have 1 on with 2 outs. So I'm waiting to see what all comes of this. I guarantee you if there's anything that goes down, he's going to have a fall guy. I mean, his interpreter took the fall for the gambling thing, so I'm guessing his agent's going to take the fall for whatever real estate scam they try to get him on. First pitch on the way is a sinker outside wide. It's 0-1. If he gets in a real bad jam, you know he's going to get the best lawyers that Major League Baseball can buy. The 0-1. Right there, top of the zone, 0-2. An 0-2 count. Pitch on the way, swing, swats it back foul. We'll do it again. What someone was trying to frame it as was like if you've ever bought a house, basically they're trying to say that they pulled out of the agreement, and that's not criminal, depending on how it went down. The 0-2 swing, that ball's belted to the back. She's gone. Tie ball game. Dalton rushing. Slams one over the right field wall. And the youngster has tied it up 3-3, 386-foot home run. Dalton rushing, one of their top prospects. He's catching tonight. He's been up and down this year for the Dodgers in their organization, but they've got high hopes for him. That one was just a hanger that he hooked around and clubbed it over that right field wall. So 3-3 your score. Top of the second, new ball game. First pitch on the way to Shohei Ohtani. He's right there for a ball. It's 1-0. This is much different than when we first saw Shohei Ohtani in the 3D. They had him giant-sized. The 1-0, outside wide, 1-1. 2-0, excuse me. First time he came onto the screen in 3D a couple of years ago when we saw him, he was towering over the screen. The 2-0 count, outside wide 3-0. We were convinced that it had been developed in Japan because we're like, how in the hell is he so much taller than everybody else? Even when Aaron Judge would come onto the screen, he wasn't nearly as tall as Ohtani. 3-0 count. Looks like there's some kind of a problem with the ABS system. Medeiros, once again, he's an opener, so I don't know how much longer he's got. There are some other games going on in Major League Baseball right now. I'll give you the score rundown. Padres and Giants are tied at 1 in the second. The 3-0 to Ohtani, 95 outside wide, ball 4. So he'll head on down to first. Good to see everybody in the chat here. I didn't have time to do we don't have time to do the roll calls like we do on the game ones. It's always good to see folks. They're going to go out there and talk to him real quick. Have a visit from his pitching coach out there on the mound. Good to see John and Iron Lung, Cody, Brian, PETA. PETA, this game is for you. I don't know if you heard us earlier, but I was talking about how when we were picking these games, the double headers, I told him, I said, we have to do at least one LA Angel game. Because I know they're probably going to fall out of the race. They're 6 games out of the wild card race right now. But we wanted to get at least one game in before they fell out. They're going to flip it over to first real quick. So Ohtani's back in under the tag. First pitch on the way to Mookie Betts is right there. Sinker at the knees. It's 0-1. So we got Brian in here. I think we already said Nicholas and Cody. Iron Lung, the 0-1 right there. It's 0-2. So an 0-2 count. There's Braden. George. The 0-2. Outside wide 1-2. I think I've gotten everybody. If I haven't, jump in and say hi. James Fisher, good to see you. The 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him with the hanging slider. I don't know how he got him to strike out, but he did. That was a dangerous one. We'll be back in a flash. The Angels have grabbed the bats. They're tied at 3 with the Dodgers.
My wife threatened to leave me because of my filthy and disgusting habits. I was so shocked, I almost choked on my toenails.
Now, if you want to crown them, but they are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook.
To protect her home and family in a disaster, Karen was willing to wade through water, mud, and insurance paperwork.
Yeah, I can do this.
You go, Karen! By simply understanding and updating what her insurance covers and doesn't cover now, she'll be better prepared no matter when disaster strikes. Learn other simple ways to protect your home and family before a natural disaster at ready.gov. That's ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council.
Hey, buddy, I'll be back. I'm going to run to McDonald's real quick. Run to McDonald's. Didn't they suspend your license today in court? Yeah, what's that got to do with anything? You can't drive with no license, Roy. What are you talking about? Yeah, you can't. I don't use a license to start my truck. What are you going to do if you get pulled over with no license? Same thing I always do when I get pulled over. Run. You're going to get in trouble, man. What are they going to do, take my license? You're going to go back to jail. And guess what? When I get out, I'll drive home. Man, one of these times, they're just not going to let you out of jail. Nah, next time I go to jail, I'm going to be there for a while after what I said to the judge last time. I am on thin ice.
If I want to smoke, I will smoke. If I want to drink, I will drink. If I want to go out, I will go out. Because I'm the one that brings the money in this house. I'm the one with the boss in this house. So if I'm going to go out, you're going to stay here with the kids. You got that? And that's how it is. That's how I'm going to tell them when she gets here.
It travels 60 feet 6 inches from the pitcher's mound to home. and it can cover that distance at nearly 100 miles an hour. Along the way, it can be made to twist, spin, curve, wobble, rise, or fall away.
Welcome back. Logan O'Hoppe stands in. Righty-righty matchup. First pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Slider at the knees. It's 1-1. O'Hoppe batting .234 on the year. The 1-1 swing. Chops it over towards short. Mookie's got it. Fires it to Freddie. 6-3 on the putout. One away. One up, one down. Number 9 hitter for the Los Angeles Angels, Bryce Teodosio, takes the first pitch upstairs. Four-seam fastball, misses high. It's 1-0. And they're really trying to challenge me on these names. The 1-0. Swing and a miss, 95, 1-1. Sheehan's got a good fastball. I've seen him pitch a couple times before. I don't know why they don't put him in their bullpen. They've got so many starters that they can lean on. The 1-1. Swing, pops it towards center field, not very deep. Easy, playable. Paez is out there for out number 2. F8 your scorecard. That'll bring Nato to the plate. Zach Nato, the leadoff hitter, batting .271 on the year. Righty-righty matchup. First pitch on the way. Four-seam fastball. Fouls it straight back. It's 0-1. Nato's been on fire recently. One of the hottest hitters in baseball. And he's a shortstop. Any way we can trick the Angels in getting him? The 0-1. Misses inside, changeup, 1-1. One count. Misses high, 95 miles an hour, 2-1. Yeah, Nicholas, that Brewers team is playing good baseball. I'm just going to say what I always say with the Brewers. I got to see it in October. They do this every year. And they go on these tears in August and September. They win the division. They find their way into the postseason. And somehow, some way, they get bounced in the first round. The 2-1 fouls it back, 2-2. And it's amazing because they didn't really bring anybody in. This is all homegrown talent that's coming in and helping them. They brought a few guys in, guys that I thought that the Braves really spit the bit on. Like Jose Quintana, who's having another solid year. They paid him $4 million, and the guy has just been an excellent back-of-the-rotation guy, innings eater, goes out there, throws quality starts. Pitch on the way is a four-seam fastball. The 2-2 misses. They check down the line. First base umpire, C.B. Buckner, says no dice. It's full count. The payoff pitch, swing, chops it over third. Muncie's got it, fires it to first, and Muncie to Freeman ends the inning. Angels go down 1-2-3. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country Radio's doubleheader, a double dip in L.A.
Lou Gehrig once said, "The ball player who loses his head, who can't keep his cool, is worse than no ball player at all." The story of Tonap. Many scouts called him the next Babe Ruth because he was a two-way player with a 90-mile-per-hour fastball and the power to hit a ball north of 450 feet. He also had the size to match. He was a staggering 6'5", weighing in at 220 pounds, with a size 18 shoe, which is how he got the nickname Toe. Dropping out of middle school and never played a single high school baseball game. He played behind the local bar. His father would collect bottle caps out of the trash and pitch them to him, and he would hit them with the handle of a broomstick. He was discovered after a friend asked Tampa Bay Devil Rays scout to attend a Little League game. He was there mainly to watch and had no plans on scouting until he saw a 5'10", 140-pound 12-year-old hit 2 home runs and strike out 17 of the 21 batters he faced. Nash would work out for the Devil Rays developmental staff. He hammered 26 home runs after taking 25 pitches from each side of the plate. In 2000, the Devil Rays signed the 18-year-old Nash for just $30,000. After he returned home in the offseason, he would be charged with a crime that could land him 10 years in prison. Immediately, the Devil Rays dropped him. After he was given a suspended sentence and probation, he was signed by the Cincinnati Reds, where he would be given a second chance. Not long after joining the Reds, he got homesick and the Reds sent him home. Once again, Nash found himself in legal trouble after a bar fight landed him in prison for the rest of his decade-long sentence. Would he have been Shohei Ohtani before there was a Shohei Ohtani?
If it was the happiest time in George Brett's life to that point, soon after he got married, the joy would be shaded when his father's health began to drastically deteriorate. It had been the most complicated relationship in his life, and it would stay that way through their final conversation before Jack Brett passed away.
He asked me that night, how'd you do yesterday in your game? You got any hits? And I said, no, 0 for 4, but I hit a good 3 times. And he said, that happens. You know, I think I popped up, struck out twice, hitting double play or something. But I didn't even tell him he's on his deathbed, and I lied to him.
For his entire career, George Brett's desire to prove himself to his father had been fundamentally connected to his drive for greatness. But even after his dad passed away, there were more mountains ahead.
Welcome back. First pitch on the way to Freddie Freeman is right there for a strike. It's 0-1. Righty-lefty matchup. Medeiros back out there for another inning. 44 pitches through 2. The 0-1 swung on, fouled straight back. It's 0-2. Freddie Freeman. There's from Atlanta Braves fame. 2020 NL MVP. The 0-2 outside wide, 1-2. 2021 World Series champion. He won his second one with the Dodgers last year. 1-2 count. Swing, lifts it into left center. Camping out underneath it is Taylor Ward for out number 1. One up, one down. Victor Medeiros goes back to work. Righty-righty matchup to Teoscar Hernandez. It's 1-0. Your home plate umpire tonight is Scott Berry. First base, C.B. Buckner. Second base is manned by Adam Beck, and down the third base line is Dan Iasona. The 1-0, swing and a miss slider. It's 1-1. 1-1 count. Kicks and fires. 89 at the knees. 2-1. LA3. Don't get a chance to say that very often. The 2-1. Swing. Banger over to third. Moncada's got it. Flips it to first. And quickly 2 away. Two down. Max Muncy, the batter. Medeiros finds the first pitch on the way, 95 miles an hour, right there for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1 off the plate, 1-1. One count. Top of the third, 2 outs. Pitch, swing and a miss, 96 miles an hour. It's 1-2. We're getting in the back stretch here in Major League Baseball. Going to go over the standings real quick, just in case you're not paying attention to it every day. For you Braves fans that are like, well, screw this. 1-2. Fouls it straight back. But in case you're wanting to know what's actually going on in the world of baseball, figure these doubleheaders are a good time to catch up. The 1-2. Down and away. 2-2. Righty-lefty matchup. The 2-2 pitch from Medeiros. Fouls that one back 96 miles an hour. Muncy 0 for 1 with the line out. Line into a double play in the first. The 2-2. Medeiros brings it. Outside wide, full count. The payoff pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So a long at bat there, but he got him out. We'll be back in a flash. 3-3. We go to bottom of 3. Time to play the lottery on the trays. We'll be back.
I just don't have the energy for this. I am unsubscribing from this drama.
John, your totals were 120 yards in 19 carries. What's your high? Do you keep track of how many carries you have in a game?
Well, my high will probably come in about another hour after the ball game. We'll have a few beers out in the parking lot, I'm hoping.
Y'all, I just saw a bubble skirt in real life for the very first time. And now I need to know how we outlaw them. I feel like I've been traumatized. I have never seen that much booty cheek on somebody that I wasn't married to or birthed. I'm just sitting in the parking lot. I was about to walk in Old Navy. I've seen him on the Lord's internet. I've never seen him out in the wild. I wouldn't think that you would wear that at 9:30 on a Saturday morning to the Bath and Body Works. It looked like she was wearing a scrunchie. Holy moly, it's a waist scrunchie. I think a scrunchie would cover up more. Is this what we're doing now? I do not want to participate. Count me out.
I literally was in bed. It was late at night, and the news came across that we got Greg. And I sat up, and I'm like, we just got a whole lot better.
I think the signing of Greg Maddux made a big difference for our ball club. He's always been rated, if not the top pitcher in the National League, he's been right there. So it's a great staff. It's a lot of fun to run a quality starter out there night after night.
They had went to the last 2 World Series, and half the rotation was already on the All-Star team. It seemed like a no-brainer for me.
We had established ourselves as young pitchers, but that was the over-the-top move because it just took us to another level.
Well, I want to go out there and do the best that I can do. I'd love to help this team win the World Series. I mean, you can't pitch in October by yourself. You need some help, and this team has as much help as anybody.
Welcome back. First pitch on the way to Shanwell is swung on and fouled, but straight back. It's on 1. Sheehan, 44 pitches into the game. The 0-1, 4-seam fastball. Swung on and fouled back. It's 1-1. 1-1 count. He's gone 4-seam, 4-seam. The 1-1, changeup, swung on, dribbled over towards the left side. Mookie Betts has a beat on it. He'll flip it over to first. Slow running first baseman for the Angels is out with ease. 1 away. Bottom of the third, 3-3 if you're just joining us. Game 2 of the doubleheader. Dodgers and Angels. Our next doubleheader is Friday night. First pitch on the way, 94-mile-an-hour fastball right there on the outer edge. It's 0-1. Doing about 2 doubleheaders a week. Most of them are night doubleheaders, but we do have some daytime ones. The 0-2. Misses high. 1-2. In fact, we've got one involving the Braves in the near future. They've got a 1 o'clock game in the near future. We're going to bring you the 4 o'clock game with the Padres and Mariners that day. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. 2 down. I believe that's on the 27th when they finish up a 3-game set with Miami. And the second game of that doubleheader will be the 4 o'clock double dip. Padres and Mariners, which ought to be a really important game by that time. First pitch on the way to Ward is swung on. That ball's belted high and deep, going back on the track. Zip, boom, bam, she's gone. Ram-a-lam-a ding-dong, a solo shot. And Taylor Ward goes bonzo over the center field wall. It's 4-3. Angels. He smacked that one. Four to 3 your score. Angels take the lead. We've got the clip here somewhere because I was looking at it earlier. Yeah, I thought this would be funny to play all game long because they're both LA. We had that designed for when the Yankees were playing the Dodgers last year. First pitch on the way is a swing and a miss to Moncada. It's 1-2 now the count. Angels lead at 4-3, the 1-2. Way outside wide, changeup misses 2-2. I was going over this afternoon. I was like, beat LA works for both teams. Might as well play it. 2-2 count. Kicks and fires, swing and a miss. Chase 95 up around his eyeballs. That'll end the inning, but not before the Angels go yard. We'll be back in a flash. Angels and Dodgers 4-3. We go to inning number 4.
So I found out last night that my husband's been cheating on me. Yeah. So we go to this party. I did not want to go, but he was really adamant on going. Now I know why. I'm at the bar getting a drink, and I get approached by this girl. We'll name her Rachel for privacy reasons.
Don't privacy her. Expose her like old man balls in male locker room.
And she starts raving about this guy she just started seeing. And then she says he's actually here tonight. And I'm like, I want to meet him. So she points behind me. And I'm like, because the only one standing behind me is my husband.
What an Indian TV drama way of finding out.
If he's married to me. Rachel puts her hand on my shoulder and says, I know. And as that's happening, my husband comes up behind me, puts his hand on my other shoulder and goes, we've been meaning to talk. So I say, you know what? Don't talk to me. I'm leaving. And then I woke up and I wanted to confront my husband about it, but it was 2 a.m. and he was sleeping.
As the Yankees assembled for training camp in March 1961, they were greeted by a new manager for the first time since 1949, as Ralph Houck had replaced the legendary Casey Stengel.
That spring, there was a lot of writers came to me and said, what did I learn from Casey? And I said, well, nothing. I how to manage my own way.
But Houck was very different than most expected, as the former war hero did not have a military approach in mind on the diamond.
As a World War II Ranger and winner of the Bronze Star, the Silver Star, and the Purple Heart, people think of you as a pretty tough guy. Are you going to be a tough manager?
I think, Tom, that I'm going to be a ball player's manager.
Houck had played with or coached most of the 61 Yankees and was well acquainted with their roster. His first change involved Whitey Ford, a Yankee since 1950. Ford had been long considered the game's top clutch pitcher.
Welcome back. 4-3 your score. First pitch on the way is swung on and fouled away. Andy Pius facing Medeiros. It's 0-1. Surprised he's still out there. I guess the Angels season isn't over. They're only 6 out. I mean, I've seen crazier things happen in baseball. This guy is being asked to stretch out as far as he can, I guess. The 0-2, swing, lifts it into center field. It's down for a base hit. And the Dodgers have the leadoff runner on. 1 on, nobody out. Paez will step aside for Michael Conforto. Freeland is on deck, rushing in the hole. Going over those standings, yeah, I've got no other option. Iron Lung, you talk about the chop, but most of our commercials are connected to the chop at the end because we build it for the season. And I thought about worrying about it, and I was like, you know what? I just, whatever. It's our brand. It is what it is. Usually during the World Series type stuff in the postseason, you won't hear it because we've got other things that I'll download that we kind of mix together. 0-1 swing and a miss. It's 0-2, but it's too much of a hassle to do it during the regular season. We may come up with some kind of solution by next year. We are planning on doing more of these doubleheaders by next year. Basically doing a test run to the end of the season this year and see how it goes. The 0-2 count. Swing, fists it down the third base side. It'll get over the third base dugout. We'll do it again, 0-2. Conforto struck out his first time up. He's 0 for 1. So going over the standings, we'll start with the the American League East. As the 0-2 swing, peppers the 94 up top. We'll do it again. Toronto, this is current. So whatever happened tonight, or if there's still a game hanging in the balance, keep that in mind. Toronto has a 5-game lead on the Red Sox and a 6-game lead on the Yankees. It's the 0-2 outside wide, 1-2. Tampa Bay has fallen completely out of it. They're 12 games back. And of course, Baltimore was never in it. They're 16 and a half back. The Detroit Tigers have a 6-game lead over Cleveland. This is the 1-2, outside wide, 2-2. And though that may sound like a lot, they had a double-digit lead on the division not too long ago. Cleveland has played really good baseball, and Detroit has kind of played with their food a little bit. So that could get tight down the stretch. Kansas City's 9 back. You don't expect them to make a real run. Minnesota and the White Sox, they're out of it. White Sox are 25 games out of first place. Ouch. The 2-2, swing, chops it over towards the hole. It's going to be a 4-6-3 double play. Rally killer, 2 down. Good shovel to Nato, and he rallied it over to Shanwell to first. In the West, this is where it gets fun. This is where it gets interesting. Houston has a half-game lead on Seattle. Seattle has won 9 of 10. They have been red hot since the trade deadline. Texas is 6.5 out. So they're not really in the divisional race. But if you look at the playoff picture for the wild card in the American League, it is locked up in a tight one. Listen to this. As the 1-0 to Alex Freeland. Swing, fouls it straight back. It's 1-1. Righty-lefty matchup. Seattle leads the wild card. 1-1 swing, chops it over to second. It's going to be a 4-3 putout. That'll end the inning. Darius gets out of the jam. When we come back, we'll talk more about the Major League Baseball playoffs and who you can expect to see on our doubleheaders.
It's a family pool, not a make-a-family pool. Separate.
What's for dinner? Pork chops. Pork chops. What else? Applesauce? Pork chops. and applesauce. That's swell.
I got a lot of dudes in my comments. I got a lot of dudes in my DMs saying the wrong things. Don't tell me I'm hot. Don't tell me I'm pretty. Don't tell me I'm... Tell me you're sending me money. Keep it short and sweet.
There was a great story. Lisa Newhouse-Saxon, who was a colleague of mine at the LA Daily News, she was covering the Dodgers and the Angels at a time when female sports reporters were pretty much banned. They were shunned. And she was at a game in Cincinnati covering the Dodgers, and she wanted to go into the locker room to do a story about Mario Soto. And they kicked her out of the locker room. The Reds people just had enough and sent her back. So she was just depressed, and the next day she'd get on the team bus, and Vin was sitting there, and Vin said, "Come here, sit next to me." So she does, and Vin just said to her, you know, without even saying what happened with the incident, he goes, "Who is it do you want to be like as a sports reporter?" She goes, "Oh, this guy is so popular, and this guy is really good." And Vin just said, "You know, you should really just be your authentic self. Just be Lisa." And from that, it gave her this great sense of confidence. And she actually she lived near him in Brentwood, and she went to church with him. He invited her to come to church with him, and it was just one of those blessings that you can't make up. And when Vin was inducted into the Baseball Reliquary, which is this great event we have out in Pasadena every year, Lisa did the acceptance speech for him and told that story. And I knew about that story, so Lisa just that was her go-to story about Vin, this tomboy who grew up listening and wanting to play baseball, and how everyone says don't meet your heroes, and she said no, this hero was much greater than all I could imagine.
Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Welcome back. Emmett Sheehan's going to go back to work, the right-hander. Fires one to Joe Adele, pops it up. Shallow right field. F9 in your scorecard. Hernandez with the catch, went away. One up, one down. As we begin the bottom of the fourth. Game 2 of the double dip. Jorge Soler, by the way, he's on the IL with back spasms, back tightness. You know who just got another base hit? I just saw it in the background. It's our old friend Ramon Laureano. They can't get him out since he went to San Diego. 1-0 right there, first strike, 1-1. Think about how cheap we could have brought him back as opposed to the money we wasted. As the first pitch on the way off the 1-1 count to Rengifo is down below the knees for a ball. It's 2-1. 2-1 count, righty-lefty matchup. Sheehan working fast, the 2-1, fires the changeup, 2-2. But they could have brought Ramon Laureano back. I believe the number was $5 million on the option. They let him walk. And at the time, I thought they may do it, but they ended up going after Profar, and the rest is history. 3-1, fouls it back, 3-2. And he's had a good season. It's not like he's just gotten hot when he went over there to San Diego. 3-2 count. I think they thought they could lowball him and bring him back, and nothing they did in the front office work this year. The payoff, swing, fouls it back, we'll do it again. I can't help pull for our old guys when you see them on other teams. As long as it's not a team, as long as it's not like the Mets or the Phillies, I usually pull for our guys. Rengifo, 0 for 1 on the day, a strikeout in first. He's got a full count. This is a guy that was, I can't tell you how many times he's been rumored to be going to the Braves, as the payoff pitch is down and away, ball 4, and he'll head on down to first. One on, one out. So he makes his way down to first. Righty-righty matchup. Logan O'Hoppe, the batter. First pitch swinging, pops it back foul, slider, it's 0-1. We'll pull the screen back in case there's any movement. Rengifo can play all over the infield, including shortstop, and he has been rumored a few times in the last couple of seasons of being headed to the Braves. They never have been able to pull it off. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. It's 0-2. And he's got decent pop. He can play all over the infield, including shortstop. He normally is a pretty good base runner. And I seriously doubt whatever they were asking for was too much. I think sometimes Atlanta gets stingy with their prospects and doesn't look at the big picture of let the bird in the hand over. Is the 0-2. Caught looking, strike 3, change up on the outer edge. 2 down. One of the reasons why he has been on the trade block for these years because of Zach Nato, who is now the shortstop for the Angels. But Rengifo at one point did play short. He's a solid defensive shortstop. He's not going to break any kind of metrics. But if you had him and you had Nick Allen playing the late part of the innings on defense, it'd be a pretty good 1-2 matchup. The 1-0, Teodosio, 96-mile-an-hour fastball, 4-seamer, follows it straight back, 1-1. Bryce Teodosio, we're just going to call him BT. I mean, get a better last name, buddy. That's all I can tell you. That's terrible. That does not roll off the tongue. 1-1 count. Swing and a miss. BT down. 1-2. I guess you could call him Bryce T, like Ice T. He's batting .318 on the year. Bryce T, the center fielder. They're going to flip it over to first, keep the runner close by. The American League wild card. Listen to this wildness. You got the Seattle Mariners with the top spot 3 games in front of everybody. The Red Sox, who have been red hot the last few months, are just 2 games back with the number 2 spot is the 1-2. Swing! That ball's banged down the left field line. That's down for a base hit. It's going to rattle around like a pinball in the corner. Here comes Rengifo, rounding third, headed for home. Here's the throw. Safe! And the LA Angels have taken a 2-run lead. Bryce T. The tall, cold glass of Bryce T. And the Angels take a 2-run lead. The New York Yankees have the last spot in the wild card race. They're 3 games behind Seattle for the number 1 wild card. They're 1 behind the Red Sox. The Cleveland Guardians are on their tail. They are 1 game behind the Yankees. The Guardians, not only did they sell at the deadline, remember they lost their closer because of the gambling investigation where he shut down till the end of August, and I'd say he's shut down till at least the end of this year. He's probably never going to play baseball again. 0-1 count. Nato the batter. 0 for 2 with 2 groundouts. Bryce T sitting up at second base. 2 outs. Angels have a 2-run lead. The 0-1 down and away. It's 1-1. Texas is 3 games behind the Yankees. Kansas City 4. If you really want to look at pie in the sky, Kansas City 4, Tampa Bay 6, and the Angels 6.5. The 1-1 chopped over towards Muncy. He'll flip it to Freddie. 5-3, and that'll end the inning. But not before the Angels put 1 more on the board. It's 5-3. Anaheim over LA.
Suspect only got with me because she wanted mixed babies.
Suspect only got with me because he wanted good credit.
Suspect tells we throwing up gang signs.
Suspect talks like a white guy when he gets around my family.
Listen here, buddy.
Where are you going? I'm gonna go watch the game at Mark.
I haven't seen you all week. I thought we'd spend some time together.
Oh, yeah, of course, but, it's the playoffs.
Sounds like a game is more important than me.
No, of course not. I'm sorry.
So you're staying home?
No.
So why don't you spend the first half of the game with him, and then you can come home with me?
Or we could break up and get back together in 4 hours.
When you go to spring training, and listen, I bring it, chat, I don't really care what y'all do. You should not be in the Hall of Fame. I don't care. You sign Article 21. When you go into every spring training, there is Article 21 on every wall. You do not bet on baseball. You do not bet on baseball. It is a lifetime ban. If you bet on your team, it is a 1-year ban if you bet on the sport in general. Like, you have to sign it. They say it in English, Spanish. They'll get it in any language that you want to hear it. Okay? To me, he knew what he was doing. He just didn't think he'd get caught. He's like, I'm Pete Rose. I'll do whatever I want. Now, if we want to play this back, Shoeless Joe Jackson, Black Sox. His numbers say he should be in the Hall of Fame. Why isn't he in the Hall of Fame? He got a lifetime ban. He died 100 years ago. Why don't we let him get in?
We should.
Oh, but we're not.
He's
So
got my
what's
vote.
different about Pete Rose? And Joe Jackson, there's less evidence on him than there is on Pete Rose. People say he didn't bet on him. He hit like 400 in that World Series. Played great. Right? Other guys admitted, yeah, we threw it. But he was like, I didn't have anything to do with it. But they still banned him for life. Why is he not in? Right? So, to me, it sucks. It's one of those black marks on the game, but also, Pete did it to himself. He doesn't deserve it because he knew what he was doing.
That's one of those arguments I could never argue against or for the whole Pete Rose thing, because from a fan standpoint, I feel like he did his time, let bygones be bygones. But I understand why players get upset about it, because there was a clear rule that he violated and lied about it quite a bit. But I do feel like he paid his dues, and I lean on this as the first pitch on the way from Chafin to Rushing is swatted towards right field. He almost went yard again. He gave that ball a ride. It's one away. But I lean on, I think enough time has passed, and he has passed away at this point, and let his fans enjoy it is the big thing for me. So many fans grew up loving Pete Rose, so I lean on that. But when an ex-player comes out and says something like what A.J. Przinsky just said, I have a hard time pushing back because I'm like, well, I don't understand your perspective because I've never been there. It's the first pitch on the way is a four-seam fastball right there for a strike. It's 0-1. Just like when fans tell me that they want to see Barry Bonds in the Hall of Fame, da-da-da-da-da, but you have guys like John Smoltz that go, screw that, they cheated. And there are a lot of players that don't believe that they're like, well, no, you'd let him in. But there are too many players that I've heard, like John Smoltz, who have said, they didn't do it the right way, I did, why do they get to get in? And it's such a sticky subject. Shohei Ohtani 1 for 1 on the day, speaking of gambling. Pitch on the way is outside wide, it's 2-1. 2 walks and a run scored. The 2-1 swing, pops it up, high in the sky, can of corn over by first. Chenwell with the catch, 2 down. Back to the baseball playoff argument, as I can see that nobody cares about what I'm talking about when it comes to the Pete Rose thing. I just find the whole thing fascinating. I could listen to both sides for hours from ex-players because they have skin in the game on both sides of it. The National League is the first pitch on the way is a 89 sinker off the edge. It's 1 down. Now, one thing I don't ascribe to is don't tell me that fans aren't allowed to have opinions because they didn't play the game, because you've spent your whole life watching the game, being a fan of the game, no matter what sport we're talking about. I don't buy into that at all. The 0-1 misses high, 1-1. You'll see that every once in a while. You'll see an ex-athlete tell somebody that they don't have that it'll be like a sports writer or something that doesn't have a strong opinion, doesn't believe they should have a strong opinion because they never played the game. Like, that's not, no. If you've been a fan your whole life, you've been covering it your whole life, you have just as much right to the game that is the fans' game more than before it's anybody else's. 2-1 count. Chafin, who's been all over the league. Braves have seen him quite a bit in the past. Four-seam fastball right there at the knees, 2-2. I've always been amazed that he cannot seem to stay on a team. He struggles because his stuff seems to be pretty good, and he's a left-hander. And this year, he's got a 2.22 average, ERA, excuse me. The payoff, the 2-2 pitches in the dirt. Now he got a payoff pitch. Mookie Betts, who is 0 for 1 in a hit by pitch. So the National League playoff looks like this: is the swing, fouls it back, do it again. Angels 5, Dodgers 3. Phillies lead the Mets even after tonight by 5 games because of the collapse of the Mets recently. The payoff pitch, swing, that ball's banged through the infield. It is a 2-out single by the Dodgers. They'll keep it going, and Freddie Freeman will come to the plate, batting .302 on the year. Miami, they're pretty much cooked. They're still hanging around now. They have no shot at the East. They're 12 games back. We'll get into the wild card in a second. The Brewers, who are now they continue to win. They're on now 11-game winning streak. They won tonight. They have a 7.5 game lead on the Cubs, and the Cubs are cooked in the division. First pitch on the way to Freddie is swung on, slapped through the hole, through the 4-3 spot, and Mookie will go first to third, and runners on the corners with 2 outs for the Dodgers. Freddie Freeman continues to do Freddie Freeman type things. Now 1 for 3 on the night. The Reds are also done when we talk about the wild card now. Excuse me, the division. The wild card's a different story. Out west, the Dodgers, they have just a 1-game lead over San Diego. By the way, the Padres lead the Giants 4-1. So if these two scores hold, they will be tied for first. The Giants have fallen off the map, and they're 9 games behind the Dodgers in the West. But the wild card race in the West is going to be fun. Or in the National League is going to be fun. Runners on the corners, 2 outs. First pitch swinging by Hernandez, and he'll bang it through the 5-6 hole, and that's going to be a run for the Dodgers. And it's 5-4, Angels. In the National League wild card, you've got the Cubs sitting atop 67 wins and 51 losses. You've got the Padres 67 wins and 52 losses. So they're just a half game behind the Cubs. If their score holds and they win, they'll be tied with the Cubs. But more importantly, if the Angels win tonight, they'll be tied with the Dodgers for the division lead. First pitch on the way to Muncy is down and away slider. It's 1-0. The Mets are 3 games behind both of those teams. They have the last wild card spot. But lo and behold, the Reds are 2 games behind them. 1-0. Right there at the knees, 1-1. The Cardinals are 4 games behind the Mets and the Giants 5. You do have the Diamondbacks and the Marlins 7 games back, but let's be realistic. The 1-1, down and in, 2-1. For you Braves fans, Atlanta's 13 games back, and that's why there's no chance. Because you can't just make up what you need on one team. You have to catch all of them, and they eventually play each other. The 2-1, down and in, 3-1. 3-1 count. Standing on deck is Pius. I would kind of think this is his last batter We'll just see how they play this. The 3-1. Inside ball 4. So we'll have to see what Ray Montgomery, the manager of the Angels, is going to do. It looks like he's probably going to go out there. Yeah, he's going to go ahead and pull Chafin. So we'll be back in a flash when we return. The Angels go to the pen. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Here in the 5th, LA versus LA. On this date in 1927, the PCL's Oakland Oaks trade infielders Lynn Larry and Jimmy Reese to the New York Yankees for $125,000. Reese will become Babe Ruth's roommate and famously quipped that he really only roomed with Babe Ruth's suitcase, unquote. On this date in 1974, Los Angeles Angels right-hander Nolan Ryan, en route to a 4-2 victory over the Red Sox, strikes out 19 batters, matching the modern-day record of Steve Carlton in 1969 and Tom Seaver in 1970. The right-hander's outing is the second of 3 19K performances that season for the fireballer from Alvin, Texas. And on this date in 1984, in one of the most famous brawls in sports history, the stage is set for a literal slugfest when the first pitch of Atlanta's 5-3 victory, thrown by Braves hurler Pascual Perez, hits Padres leadoff hitter Alan Wiggins. The fighting begins in the second inning when Ed Whitson throws behind the starter's head, with more brawls in the 5th, which includes several fans, and in the 8th and 9th innings, when the Padres continue to use Perez for target practice every time the pitcher steps to the plate. One of the ugliest incidents in the history of Major League Baseball results in 19 ejections. Welcome back. Ryan Zephyrhan is on, right-hander. And he's set to face Andy Paez. The bases are juiced. There's 2 outs, and the Angels lead by 1. First pitch on the way. It's a cutter off the edge. It's 1-0. Infield back into the left, the 1-0. Swing and a miss. 1-1. 4 runs, 6 hits, no errors for the Dodgers. 5 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Angels. 1-1, 97 outside, wide ball 2, 2-1. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Tying run just 90 feet away. The 2-1. Swing and a miss at the sweeper. Two and 2. Put it down here on the batter control. Looks like it's got a pretty good angle here. Paez steps out of the box for a second. The 2-2. He's 1 for 2 on the day with a single in the 4th. Zephyrhan brings it. Sweeper down and away. Ball 3. So now you've worked the count full. The runners will be on the move. Anything that gets down may clear the bases. The payoff pitch from Zephyrhan. Nowhere near the ball, near the zone, ball 4. So that'll walk in the tying run. Freddie Freeman crosses the plate. And Michael Conforto Jr. will come to the dish. It'll be righty-lefty. They're going to have a powwow on the mound. Pitching coach Barry Enright heading out there. Ron Washington is still on medical leave, and I don't believe he's expected to be back this year. I have not heard what the issue was, and he may not have released it, but I do hope that everything turns out all right for Ron. One of Braves country's favorites. You know, he used to drive us nuts sometimes when he was so aggressive on the base pass. Now I miss the hell out of it because the duds we've had at third base since he's left, I mean, they basically drop anchors and trip the runner coming by, keep him from trying to score. Bases loaded. Conforto the batter. Here's the first pitch. Righty-lefty. High and out of the zone. It's 1-0. 1-0. Righty-lefty. The pitch. Swing and a miss. 1-1. Cutter on the inside track. Kind of a half-hearted swing by Conforto, excuse me. Struck out looking his first time up, then grounded into a double play. 0 for 2 on the day, batting 188. The 1-1. Swing, swats it foul. It's 1-2. This is another contract that has not worked out for the Dodgers. Signed him in the offseason. Everyone just thought that they got a steal. He has not lived up to any kind of expectations. 1-2 count. Swing, swaps it foul. Do it again. Conforto's mother is an ex-Olympic swimmer. I want to say his dad was an athlete as well. 1-2 count. Of course, originally a New York Met, was injured there often. Never worked out there. The 1-2 in the dirt, 2-2. They seem to be nibbling around the edges. It's already led to 1 run. You got a guy batting 188. You have 1-2 count on him, man. You just got to go after him. The 2-2 count. Pitch on the way. Down and in. 3-2. Bases loaded. The payoff pitch. Swing, bangs it down the first base line. Foul. We'll do it again. Padres still lead the Giants 4-1 there in the 5th. Man, those are some god-awful ugly jerseys the Giants have for City Connect. I don't know if y'all have ever seen them, but they are awful. They're right up there with the San Diego terrible ones. The 3-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him with the 97. High cheese, and that'll end the inning. But not for the Dodgers. Tie it up. It's 5-5. They put 2 on the board. LA versus LA. Beat LA.
I had my friend hang up on me today because she called me and she was like, I'm seeing someone. And I was like, oh hell, like as in hallucinating or dating.
You know, I'm starting to think that when my wife tells me that she told me something and that I just forgot, that she's taking advantage of my simple mind and using that just to throw some last minute on me. And she's been doing this for a long time, actually.
How did you feel about losing?
Oh, losing sucks. I mean, that's, of all the records I have, the proudest record is 1,972 winning games. That's more winning games than anybody in the history of sports. You play the game to win. And, you get in trouble sometimes when you tell kids this, but not to the standpoint that you're a sore loser, but, I've been in situations, Graham, where we just won a World Series, and the guy we beat is in our clubhouse congratulating us. I couldn't do that, because I'm going to sit and analyze why we lost that game, where if the situation comes up the next time, we will win the game, and we won't lose the game. If you take losing in stride, you're never going to be a good professional athlete. You might be a good money earner because you're a good player, but I don't want you on my team. I want players who care about winning. I don't care who's watching you and I talk right now. If they got kids that are Little League players, okay, they feel better. I'm talking about mom and dad. They feel better if their kid got a base hit to win the game in a Little League game on the way home. The food tastes better. The phone call to grandma and grandpa is better, as opposed to striking out and going 0 for 4. When I was a kid, if we lost a game, my dad wouldn't even stop to eat. You had to earn that food, okay? So if we went into a prolonged slump, it was almost like going to Jenny Craig.
Welcome back. First pitch on the way is hit over to Freddie Freeman. Looks like a line drive out. L3 in your scorecard. One down. Mike Trout, the batter. Righty-righty matchup. First pitch on the way. 94 up top. Four-seamer. It's 0-1. 0-1 count. Trout 1 for 2 with the single and batting 240 on the year with 20 home runs. The 0-1 right there, first strike, 1-1. 1-1 count. Kicks and fires. Swing and a miss, slider, 1-2. Still think Trout probably gets in the Hall of Fame, but his numbers have really dipped off. You look at his career numbers. Is the 1-2, 95 up top. Did he go around? He did not. 2-2. CB Buckner says no dice. You realize he's at 34 years old now, and his home run total is 398. I think he eventually gets to 500, and that'll punch his ticket in. But it's not the runaway. Remember 5, 6, 7 years ago, they were talking about, I remember this specific argument at the time with Russo was on radio one day, and someone was trying to compare him. No, you know what? He was on the MLB show he used to have, and someone was trying to compare Trout to Joe DiMaggio. The 2-2, caught looking strike 3, 2 down. And they were, I want to say it was Brian Kenny, whoever it was comparing him on his trajectory. And Russo ended up being right because he kept saying, you're comparing him to Joe DiMaggio, and he's only got like 5 years into his career. He's got to do it for the long haul. And of course he hasn't. First pitch on the way is a curveball right there on the inner track. It's 1-0. Still a player every team would love to have, but he has been injured, and considering what they pay him, you wouldn't want him for that price. 1-0. Right there for a strike, 1-1. 1-1 count. And he's DHing tonight. He's not even playing the field. They're paying that guy over $400 million. 1-1, fouls it back, 1-2. And you don't hear the stupid comments anymore that people say about how the Angels are wasting his career out there in LA, and someone needs to go get him, and they need to trade him because now nobody wants him. 1-2, fouls it back to him. We'll do it again. It's real easy to say someone's wasting their career for a team that's not winning, but he's the one that signed the $400+ million contract. So you know in your heart of hearts when you do that, you're crippling the franchise. 1-2 count. Swing and a miss. Do it again. Let Juan Soto start falling apart and see how much that'll cripple a franchise paying a guy $700 million. 1-2 count. And Andrew will get there. I think he gets there this coming year. The 1-2. Misses high, 2-2. I'm more concerned with Dale Murphy getting in the Hall of Fame because he's 67, going to be 68 years old. And eventually, you wait too long and these guys pass away. The 2-2 fouls it away. Look at Dave Parker. They waited till this year to get him in, but then he got in, but then when he ends up kicking the bucket before he ever gets to do his speech. 2-2 count. Same thing will be said for Pete Rose. Pitch on the way, drags it down the third base side into the dugout. Do it again. Don't even get me started on Shoeless Joe Jackson. 2-2 count. Hell, Shoeless Joe's grandkids aren't even around to see him go into the Hall of Fame. The 2-2. Outside wide, full count. Sheehan, by the way, is at 90 pitches. They're trying to get him through this fifth inning. Snit in the Hall of Fame. They'll induct him into the Braves Hall of Fame for sure. The payoff pitch. Caught looking, strike 3. Punched out on the outer corner. That'll end the inning. Backwards K. Top of the 6th. Tied at 5 in Los Angeles.
We're being rude? Awesome. Cool. My turn.
Suspect's 38 and she still doesn't have a boyfriend yet.
Suspect's 24 and her hair's thinning already.
Suspect doesn't know if it's her ass or a 2x4.
When you got dumb and dumb out here.
I have respect for myself, and this is my best friend, so I have respect for her.
All right.
And I'm being dead honest right now that if you call me dumb or her dumb one more time, I don't care how many steroids you take, how many egg yolks you drink.
How much that thing cost anyway? Couple
Like
$100. $800. You paid $800.
$800.
Do you feel violated?
No, sir.
You should for $800.
A standing room only crowd in Cincinnati on its feet. First inning, Pete Rose against Eric Shaw. Ball 1. Rose looking for hit 4-1, 9-2. And it's 1 ball, 1 strike. And he really had a confident rip.
And that was a fastball in tight, which I think is the way that they'll try to pitch him since they were successful with it last night.
If you have a lump in your throat, you're only human. And it's 2 balls, 1 strike on Rose. Everybody on their feet here in Cincinnati and a worldwide television audience watching these moments tonight here at Riverfront Stadium. 2-1 pitch from Shaw into left center. There it is. Rose has eclipsed Cobb. That's number 4,192.
You're listening to Braves Country Radio with Mac McGee, the classic call of Braves Country baseball. Top of 6 we go here in La La Land. Angels hosting the Dodgers, 5-5 your score. Brock Burke on the southpaw with a 2.94 ERA. Set to face Rojas. Miguel Rojas is batting for Freeland. First pitch swinging, slaps it towards center, and it's going to drop down. Dude, Bryce T sucks at defense. That's all I can tell you there. That center fielder, man, you got to go make a play for that ball. That ball floated up there, and he just let it drop in front of him. Michael Harris is going to be sliding and making that grab, baby. 1 on, nobody out. Oofa. What a terrible defensive play that was. It's kind of a lackluster, like he was scared the ball was going to get by him. You're center fielder, man. You got to go for it. First pitch to Rushing is bang foul down the line. It's 1-1. Dalton Rushing hit his second home run of his career earlier in this game. Back in the second inning, we were just coming on. The 0-1 slaps that through the hole, and runners on first and second, nobody out. The Dodgers got things rolling as they head to the top of the order to face Shohei Ohtani. That's not what you want if you're the Angels. 3 pitches, 2 base hits, and Shohei Ohtani coming to the plate. He's walked, he's popped up, batting .283. 42 home runs, 78 RBI, and a 1014 OPS. Lefty-lefty matchup. The first pitch on the way to Shohei is 96 at the knees. Caught. All right. Says it's a ball. That was anything but a ball, but it's 1-0. 1-0. High and inside, 95, almost got him. Shohei had to bend out of the way. If Ohapi wasn't diving at that ball, I mean, that ball caught him. It launched him. He goes airborne, catches the ball, and it takes him off his feet. Very fortunate that didn't get to the backstop. The 2-0 Shohei. Swing, pops it up. Down the third base line, fouling out of play. It's 2-1. You go back to that first at bat of this inning, where Bryce T let that ball fall in front of him when he should have been charging that and making the play. If this inning spins out of control, you can go back and circle that. Two-one count. Lefty. Swing. Rips it down the first base line, 2-2. I don't know what the reference is. If you know who Peter Burns is, he works for SEC Football, ESPN. He put a tweet out a little while ago. I guess it was either last night or early this morning. And it said, the 2-2 swing, lifts it up the middle, and we're going to get a triple play! We're going to get a triple play! Nito makes the catch, line drive, steps on second, fires it to first. They tagged the runner. I don't know why he didn't step on the bag. Would have been easier. But triple play! I've seen a lot of things since I've been doing this. I've never seen a triple play. Wow. And it was Shohei Ohtani that hit into it. Not that it's his fault. That ball went right over second base. Wow. I still don't know why Chanel didn't tag first. The runner is slow to get up. We'll be back in a flash. Triple play, baby. Let's go.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Today drained me.
Suspect claims to eat healthy but won't touch a vegetable. Not a single one. Not a single vegetable.
Suspect wanted to be in the NBA, but instead he's 5'9" and has asthma.
Okay. Going like that, huh? Suspect was the cutest little boy in 3rd grade.
My mom made me have that haircut. Suspect needs to start No Shave November in January.
Oh! Okay. Suspect doesn't know I sold her Apple Watch 2 weeks ago.
I need that.
Do you?
I like my coffee like I like my men. It's not great, but I can fix it.
When you get into a lull, you never admit you're in a slump. Don't ever let a pitcher tell you you're in a slump. I would tell people you do one of 6 things when you get into a lull. You know what they are?
Yeah.
Okay?
No, tell me.
Closer to the plate, further away from the plate, up in the box, back in the box, choke up in the bat more, choke down in the bat more. Make it heavier, make it lighter. Never change your swing. Your swing got you to the big leagues. You change your positioning in the batter's box. Curveball's getting to you. Move up on it. You're not getting to it. Move up, move back on it. They're jamming you. Move away from the plate because what they do, everybody charts every game that you play nowadays. And you're not going to go 0 for 20, Frank, and have 15 at bats where you're pulling the ball and 5 where you're hitting it over first base. You're going to develop a pattern. And you make your adjustments based on the pattern that you developed over 20 at bats. And if you're swinging and missing, you're pulling off. Hit the ball right back up the middle. You can't pull off, you hit the ball right back up the middle.
You're listening to Braves Country Radio with Mac McGee, the classic call of Braves Country baseball. Welcome back. What a play. Triple play if you're just joining us. Line drive over the bag. Nato steps on second just as he's catching it. So the runner at second really never had a chance. The runner at first, rushing, was tagged on the side, fell to the ground, laid there for a while. He might have just had the wind knocked out of him. But what a freaking play. 8th triple play in Angels team history, the first since 2023. I've never seen the Braves turn a triple play. First pitch on the way, it swung on and chopped foul, 4-seam fastball. It's a 1-1. Yeah, me too, Iron Lung. Really, and not only was that a triple play, it was a dramatic triple play. Game's tied at 5 in the 6th, and you've got Shohei Ohtani on at the plate, and things could have unraveled. He could have gotten on. You'd have Freddie and Mookie Betts and Teoscar Hernandez, the whole 9 yards. Instead, the triple play saves the day. Now they got to win, don't they? 0-2 count to Moore. Dreyer, the left-hander, is on the mound now. Christian Moore batting 178. Pitch on the way, 95 right there at the knees. It's 0-2. I would think we're going to see Travis d'Arnaud in the near future pinch hitting at some point in the next inning or two. I would think. I can't imagine he doesn't make the play because looking at their bench, he's definitely one of the best they've got left. 1-2, slapped into the gap. It's down for a base hit, and Christian Moore is going to head to second, and it's a stand-up double for the Halos. The lefty up there, you might see it sooner than later. So runner at second, nobody out. That'll bring Joe Adele to the plate. First pitch on the way is swatted down the left field line, excuse me. That's over wrong. No, John, I've never had a triple play with the Braves. The 0-1. Kicks and fires. Runner scurries back to second. Rushing was directing traffic behind the runner, saying, "Get back there, man. We had him picked off." It's actually pretty impressive for a rookie to be telling Mookie Betts and Rojas what to do. 1-1. Right there, first strike. It's 1-2. 1-2 count. So the last triple play that the Braves had, I was actually in the stadium. So that's why I didn't call it, if you're wondering. I was actually right there where it happened. The 1-2, swing, fouls it straight back. Do it again. It was July 25th, 2023 in Fenway. And it was a rare 8-3-5 triple play. It went Harris to Olson to Riley. And I was right there where Riley was on the third base line. 1-2 outside, wide 2. I don't know if y'all remember that or not. The 2-2 inside. 3-2. So a full count. Pitch on the way, pops it up. That's going to be high in the sky over by first base. Freddie Freeman's going to make the catch one away. So not only did he not get a base hit, he didn't move the runner over. And now there's one down and runner on second. First Atlanta Braves triple play came August 29th in 1969. First pitch on the way to Rengifo is a four-seam fastball lifted in the air. Right field, F9 your scorecard, 2 down. The runner will move from second to third, but there are 2 outs. Rafael Furcal had a triple play in 2003 as they're going to make a pitching change. We'll stay right here with you, just talking about the triple play history of the Braves. He made a leaping catch in 2003 and picked off the runners who were following a hit and run play. So that was an unassisted triple play back in 2003 by Rafael Furcal. The Braves hit into a triple play last in 2019. We started the station in 21, so I didn't call that one either. I'm looking at the replay. Yeah, so that game there was a rain delay in Boston, and there was like a dying quail over into center field, and Harris threw it to Olson, and then on the play, the runner at second tried to tag up and go to third, which was dumber than hell. Olson gunned down the runner at third. One of the coolest things about going to that game in Boston, obviously seeing the stadium was awesome, the history behind it. But, so they had that rain delay, and when the guys came out on the field to pull the tarps off, they erupted. I mean, it was like a touchdown in the Super Bowl. The entire place erupted because it signified that we were about to play baseball. That was one of the coolest things. I wish I'd have known that was going to happen, because I would have recorded it on my phone. But we were just sitting there drinking a beer, me and my wife and a couple of my friends, and we're sitting there waiting for the game to start. And we were all almost debating. I'm like, man, is this thing even going to get played? And we're looking at the radar, and I'm like, I think it is. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know how long they're going to wait. And all of a sudden, you see them come out, and the whole place went, whoa! And it was like a charge of electricity. It was such a cool place to watch the game. Henriquez comes in, first pitch swinging by O'Hoppe, pops it up. F6 in your scorecard, and that was a terrible at bat. That'll end the inning. We go to the 7th inning, tied at 5 here in La La Land. Angels, Dodgers, 5-5.
Yo, I don't know who need to hear this, but pick up your mother feet when you walking. Just ignorant.
Suspect's 29 years old and still her pants in the supermarket.
That was one time! Suspect says he wants to lose weight but eats a whole bag of Butterfingers.
She gave me a bunch of crap about me not listening to her enough or something. I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention.
It's fall and winter, which means I'm going to have to start covering all my body and all my tattoos. How are you guys going to know I'm chill like that? How are you guys going to know that I look sick under all this? Oh, my God.
Suspect pees while sitting down.
Suspect leaves massive skid marks in their underwear. It's like burnouts.
Spring training, you know, we're playing every other day. I may go a week without a ground ball, and then, I get into season, it's like, here we go. And I feel like that's always kind of been the lacking part of like being ready. It's just like, getting those ground balls under your belt and doing live fungos. It's like, especially at third base off the live, like you get those top spinners, you get those in between hops where you got to take a step back, take a step forward. I know for me personally, like the start of this season, I've never felt more comfortable at third base defensively this early. So I love it.
I just like to get my feet moving. You see it a little better than just a normal flip up and fungo, hitting soft toss, and get some more real game like bounces and difference of ball off the bat. So it's been good for us. We've been running with it and getting the legs moving, especially on day games. It's been good.
Yeah, it just helps us to kind of focus in on doing the small things right, and once you get the small things right, everything else sort of falls into place.
Welcome back. Dodgers 5, Angels 5, top of the 7th. Luis Garcia will come on for the Angels. Big right-hander looking into Mookie Betts. Righty-righty matchup. The first pitch on the way. Sweeper right there for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Sinker, 97 miles an hour, misses 1. By the way, the Atlanta Braves franchise, dating all the way back to the Boston Red Stockings, have had turned 37 triple plays in their history. 7 since being in Atlanta in 1966. The unassisted triple play which Rafael Furcal had, that has only happened 15 times since 1900. The 2-1 fouls it back. 2-2. Two count. I've got a list here. I'm going to try to find the ones that the Braves were involved. There's the 2-2 outside wide, 3-2. It's going to be a little difficult to sift through it because it's everyone in the history of Major League Baseball, but I think I can figure it out. Three-two, pops it up, sinker. Can of corn, second base, F4 in your scorecard. 1 away. One up, one down, and Freddie Freeman, the batter. First pitch on the way is swung on, pops it up, down the left field line. It's going to drop over the head of Rengifo. He'll fire it in the infield, and Freddie Freeman will have a long single. Big smile on Freddie's face. I think he's just laughing because he didn't think that was going to work out. Kind of sawed it off. And Rengifo chasing down the line over his head. The left fielder, Ward, was played very far back. He had no chance at it. So a seeing eye single for the Dodgers, and Freddie stands at first with one out. In 1969, the Braves turned a triple play against the Cubs. His first pitch on the way off the 0-1 is a sweeper, fouls it straight back. It's 0-2. They turned a 3-6 to 2 to 5 to 1 to 4 to 7 triple play. That was in 1969 on August 29th against the Cubs. The 0-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. 2 down. Max Muncy, the batter, righty-lefty matchup. First pitch on the way, splitter, bangs it down the first base side. It's on the line. The next time the Braves were involved in a triple play that they turned was against the Phillies, July 15th, 1978, 5 to 4 to 3. By the way, the first two that I mentioned, they lost both of those games by a run. It's a lot of good that did. The 0-1, swing and a miss, it's 0-2. Oh-2 count. Then in 1986, as the 0-2 inside, almost gets him. Pitch goes down and in, gets out of the way, and on the play, Freddie Freeman takes off, and he'll have the base stolen. I'll tell you what, Freddie Freeman has done that his entire career. Long strides and just knows when to pick his spots. So now the go-ahead run stands at second base. In 1986, the Braves turned one on the Padres. They lost that game 3-1. It was 1 to 4 to 3 to 2 triple play. The 1-2 banged on the ground over to first base. It's going to be a 3-1 putout, and that'll end the inning. We'll go to the bottom of the seventh. It's time to get up and stretch, LA country. We'll be back in a flash.
All right. I can't see you. Let me hear you. All one, a two, a three. Me out to the ball game. Hey, me out to the side. Find me something up and crack the jack. I don't care if I have to get back on the creek.
Welcome back. Looks like I'm still going through the triple plays. As we head to the bottom of the 7th inning, Bryce T takes the first pitch down and away. Fastball from Henriquez, who's back out there. It's 1-0. Bryce T hit a double for an RBI last time up. Pops this one up 100 miles an hour. Canicorn, who wants it? Max Muncy makes the catch. F5. 1 down. In 2000, the Braves turned a triple play against the Marlins. They lose that game 2-1. A 5-4-3 triple play. Have they ever won a game when they turned the triple play? They turned one in 2003, and I believe, yeah, that was one with Furcal. His first pitch from Henriquez to Nato misses. It's 1-0. They lose that game 2-1. Then they turn one a year later, and they lose that game 2-1, 5-4-3 triple play. If I miss one here or there, just bear with me. And then the Red Sox game, they lost that one 2-1. I knew that because I was at that game. They lost that. They got swept in that series. I was at both games. I might have missed one, but from what I see, have the Atlanta Braves ever turned a triple play and won a baseball game? 1-1 in the dirt, 2-1. It's kind of hard to believe. You'd think a triple play would help you win a ball game in a big way. You think it'd fire up the team? 2-1, pops it up down the right field line, giving chases Hernandez. He has to catch that on the fly, makes a running catch, 2 down. This is when they were still in Milwaukee, but they turned a triple play against the Reds. They lost that game by a run, 2-1. It was a 1-63. I'm gonna have to get this printed out to where I can circle them and go on a deeper dive. But it almost looks like every damn one that they've turned, they've lost. Cutter to Chanel from Enriquez is down and in for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Righty lefty pitch on the way. Swing, bangs it. 1-1. 102 miles an hour, but from Henriquez, by the way. 1-1 count. Swing and a miss, 100 miles an hour, 1-2. They just have an embarrassment of riches with the Dodgers in that bullpen. One, two. Swing, slaps it over towards second, but it's a line drive out. Rojas makes the catch, and that ends the inning. We'll head to the 8th inning, tied at 5 in L.A.
In 1980, we were playing Philadelphia, and whoever won that game goes to the World Series. I go down to take batting practice, and Pete's on one knee, and he's leaning on his bat watching. And when I got through hitting, I walked out, and Pete goes, "Hey, Nolan, I wish you'd get that curveball of yours over just one time. Do you remember this?"
No.
I didn't say Mr. Ryan.
No, you said Nolan. You said, I wish you'd get that curveball over just one time. I go, yeah, why is that, Pete? And he says, because I'm going to hit it right off your blanking forehead. And I go, oh, all right, we'll see about that. So, we get into the game, and the first 2 times up, I don't throw him any curveballs. Third time up, throw him fastball in, throw him fastball away, it counts 1-1. I think, now's my chance. Well, I throw my curveball, and when it leaves my hand, I know it's a good pitch. It was a pitch I wanted to throw. But I see Pete's eyes light up, and he hits the most vicious line drive that would have hit me in the face if I hadn't got my glove up. And he's running to first base, pointing at me. And he comes across the mound, and he says a couple ugly things to me.
Right back to Ryan. Pete says, all right. The countdown for George Brett to the 3,000 mark.
And just as much desire to climb them.
I'm 4 hits away. We have a 4-game series in Anaheim. I go to the ballpark that day, and I'm trying to swing, and I can't. Tuesday, get there, taking dry swings, not good enough. Get there Wednesday, taking some swings, hitting off a tee. I'm going, okay, if I can swing 80%, boom, yeah, feels good. Okay, Hal McRae, I can play.
It was insane. He was hurt. He was so hurt that he couldn't even put on his shoes that day. We didn't even know if he was going to start the game. And one of his brothers stayed in Palm Springs because George said, I'm not going to play. And if I play, I'm going to do terrible.
Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball.
Who's your hall pass? What is a Diplo, first of all?
He's a DJ.
Diplo, that.
Welcome back. Whoops. It's getting late. I'm hitting the wrong buttons left and right. Looking at when the first time the Braves organization hit into a triple play since the National League's been around, because they don't have it listed back when they were in the NA, which was the National Association, which the Braves won 4 of the first 5 world titles in what eventually turns into Major League Baseball. His first pitch on the way from Detmers to Paez misses for a ball, and now it's fouled off for a strike. It's 1-1. Reed Detmers, who's been a starter for a lot of his career, now in the bullpen for the Angels, the 1-1. Swing and a miss, 98. 1-2. And he never had this kind of stuff when he was a starter. The first time they hit into a double play was in 1876 against the Philadelphia Athletics. The 1-2. Swing. Hammers it over towards short, deep in the hole. Neto dribbles one across the infield, but Paez is going to beat that out. And it's an infield single for the Dodgers to get them going. The next time they hit into a triple play, the Red Stockings were playing the Red Caps. And they had no creativity when it came to nicknames, did they? And that was in 1878. The first time we turned one was in 1882 against the Baltimore Orioles. No, not those Baltimore Orioles. A different franchise. And that was in 1882. His first pitch on the way is a curveball up top for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1. They turned one in 1884 when they were known as the Bean Eaters by then against the Grays. The 0-1 swing and a miss. It's 0-2. A lot of teams named after what they wore, the color of clothing, because you had the dark blues. I think that was the Hartford dark blues. But you had red stockings, red caps, red legs, brown stockings, the Grays. The White Stockings eventually turned into the White Sox. The 0-2's bang down the line, third base line. We'll do it again. Oh-2 count. Runner at first, nobody out. Alex Call digs in, fights that one off into the crowd. We'll do it one more time. The 0-2 in the dirt, 1-2. Infield is back into the left, flips it over to first. Alex Call at the plate. He's pinch hitting for Conforto. Rojas is on deck, who pinch hit for Freeland his last time up. Then you would have Rushing due up. I don't know if they would pinch hit him with the lefty on the mound. The 1-2 swing and a miss. Strike three, one away. They've got Will Smith on the bench, the Dodgers do. I just don't know if they're trying to give him the entire day off, so he may not be available to pinch hit. Is the curveball up top for a strike? It's 0-1. I mean, he may be able to pinch hit, but they may. Well, there's my answer. Will Smith's on the on-deck circle. Thought maybe they weren't going to have him play the field. The 0-1's banged down the line. It's 0-2. I don't see another player that is listed on their roster that could catch. So he will stay in the game to catch. This is assuming there's not a double play here. The 0-2 count brings it. Swing and a miss. Curveball. Strike three. 2 away. Cody, I do every year, I do the Army-Navy game without fail. That's my number one game that I do. I did some college football last year, and I did it previous years. I don't know if I'm going to do much of it this year. If they ever get this kind of technology, I would. But when we stream them, it's literally just... You're putting a scoreboard up there is what you're doing. And we have from time to time put the scoreboard up there, and we all just kind of drink along and party along. We may do more of that this year, but I don't know if I'm going to call many games because we never got that big of a following for it. We had the core listeners, but it never seemed like it was worth the while, and I think I'm going to take the weekends off when November hits. Curveball is swung on and banged into the audience over the third base dugout. It's 0-1. But I do without fail, I do Army-Navy every year. That's one of our biggest. In fact, someone was asking about how many views we get. I was looking at that today. The Army-Navy game, we always get over 20,000. It's always a big, because people tune in from throughout the world. We first started doing it a handful of years ago. I did it on a whim. I didn't think it was anything that people would tune into, but there were so many men and women that were serving overseas that were telling me that without my broadcast, they couldn't get the game for whatever reason, that they couldn't pick up Armed Forces Radio where they're at, but they had internet to pick that up. The 0-1 pops it up high in the sky. Will Smith will fly out to left field, and that'll end the inning. And he'll have to go grab the tools of ignorance thinking he was going to get the night off Instead, he got to go catch at least an inning or so. It's 5-5. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Halos will grab the sticks.
How you feel?
Oh no! Is there anything I can do? Can I try again?
You know what? I'll ask you a question. If you can answer this one right, I'll let you pass.
Okay, thank you.
Alright, listen carefully. There's an old man and there's a young kid at the light. So what do we hear first?
The old man, because the young kid has the whole life.
No! You hit the brakes!
The last conversation I ever had with my dad, the night before he died, if you knew what my dad was like, he wasn't, I love you and I'm sorry. He was a doer, not a talker. And he told me that he went through the same thing when he was a ball player. My dad was a really good baseball player. And this is how you get over this issue. You don't have a mental block. He said you have a temporary loss of confidence. And once the confidence comes back, this thing will dissipate. And so I started working on it in practice, just like he had told me. And I started getting my confidence back in practice. I actually switched him. I took on practice as a game. And so when game time came along, it was like, hey, I've already been through this. I was relaxing. And then when I got through that thing, I went on and I led the league in fielding in my position when I went to the American League. And I was in the top 5 fielding from then on in all second basemen. So it was about conversations with my dad that helped me get over this. And then after my dad died, about 3 years later, I was talking to my mom about this conversation with my dad. And my mom and dad have been together since the 5th grade. And my mom told me, she said, your dad never had a throwing problem in his life. He just said that because he knew how much I revered his strength and his wisdom. And if he could go through it, then it's not so bad that I'm going through it. And that's how I got my confidence back, by somebody that was selfless enough, like my dad, to tell me this when he never went through a throwing problem, but it helped me get over it. And thankfully, I was one of the very few guys that went through this thing that got over it. A lot of guys don't get over this issue.
Braves Country Radio, the classic call of Braves Country baseball. Yeah, bar none, Army-Navy is my favorite game I do every year. But it's because of the engagement of the people that come into the chat. Because men and women who are serving all over the world will come in and listen. And they will, it just, to me, it's by far the coolest game we do. But that's the only football game that I think we're going to do this year. First pitch on the way is a cutter outside wide. It's 1-0. The reason why we used to do them is because we had a talk show that we did on Saturday mornings, and that basically bled in as a pregame, and then I would stick around and do. We call it the high noon kickoff last year, and so we would finish our game our show, and about a half hour later the game would kick off, and so the 2-0 from Training, swing, fouls it straight back. Mike Trout's 2-1. And so it kind of led into our audience sticking around, watching the game, etc. But we're not doing that show this year. We're doing it on Thursday and Friday morning. So I'm going to take Saturdays off. 2-1 up top, 3-1. And there's something to be said to be able to be a fan of a sport and not have to broadcast it. I think that's what I'm going to do with college football this year. But I can see us putting the scoreboard up on some of those games and just having a chat out. 3-1, misses high, ball 4, and Mike Trout. It's late. Mike Trout will hit out in the first. 1 on, nobody out. Pretty sure John was in the John and Brian were in those college football chats last year. I know John was. Righty matchup. Ward 2 for 3 on the day. First pitch on the way. Sweeper down and away. It's 1-0. And I know Peter was, because she got bent out of shape on a couple of them. Left the chat. We were full of spirits, saying all kinds of wild and mean stuff, I'm sure. The 1-0 inside. 1. No, he called that a ball. Okay, 2-0. So a 2-0 count. Pull the screen back real quick so you can get a better look. Pitch on the way. Down and away, 3-0. Taylor Ward 2 for 3 on the day. A single, a home run, 2 runs scored. (3-0) count. I knew it was something, Pete. I couldn't remember what it was. I remember you, I remember you chiming in about it. Rojas goes out to the mound. It seemed like Miguel Rojas, maybe the Braves need to hire him. It seemed like he was leading the conversation on the mound with the right-hander Treenan. Will Smith, the catcher, was on the mound, but Rojas was giving him the what for. Braves need to sign that guy now. The 3-0 count. Heck, he'd get to play every day in Atlanta. Pitch on the way, chop foul. Treenan looks in. Taylor Ward 2 for 3 on the day. Padres have broken their game open. It's 5-1 now as the 3-1. Chops it over towards short. It's going to have to be a really quick dish. Good play by Mookie Betts. Underhanded scoop, and he had to fire it. Not to mention the fact, good catch by Rojas. They're having a conversation now. I think Rojas said, I didn't think I was going to catch that one. That thing was bulleted underhanded. It was either Merrill or Tatis just hit a home run. I think it was Merrill. And the Padres lead that one 5-1. So if that score holds and the Angels come back and win this, there'll be a tie atop of the division in the NL West. Flip it over to first real quick to keep the runner close by. Christian Moore, who doubled in the sixth, is at the plate. He's 1 for 1. The 1-1. Inside. 2-1. Treenan kicks and fires. Misses out of the zone. Runner at first. The infield is back into the right. Huge hole on that right side. Christian Moore can knock it over to that side. They could be in business. The 2-0. 95 just kisses the black. Good pitch by Treenan. 2-1. 2-1 count. Pitch on the way. Swing. Chops it down the line. Foul. 2-2. The 2-2. Man, he's worked slow. The pitch right there, strike 3. Caught looking sweeper. Tell you what, Christian Moore's got to learn how to do a more professional at bat too. He just spun and turned away. You got to sit there and hope for a second that the home plate umpire is going to miss the call. He just gave up and walked away, and then he got punched out. Adele, the batter now. One point, the top prospect in Major League Baseball. First pitch on the way, 96 inside. It's 1-0. Turned into a pretty decent outfielder. He's in right field tonight. He originally came up as a closer. Our old buddy Kenley Jansen's warming up in the pen for the Angels. Flip it over to first, keep the runner close by. But when Joe Adele first came up, and they were talking like future Hall of Fame that good. And He never really has panned out to that level. 1-0. Swing, pops it up. Injuries were the first part of his career, the situation, and then after that, he just never seemed to be able to get a hold of Major League pitching. He has 25 home runs this year and 71 RBI, by far his best season. The batting just .226. The 1-1 outside wide, 2-1. Two-one count. Brings it down and away. Did he go around? He did. 2-2. The 2-2 count. Righty-righty matchup. Down and away. You go around. He did not. Full count. The 3-2 count. Training comes set. Brings it. Swing. Fouls it straight back. We'll do it again. Five to 5 your score, bottom of the 8th. LA Dodgers, LA Angels. The payoff pitch, swing, pops it up. Back out of play, and we'll do it again. Payoff pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him. Chase one off the edge, and that'll end the inning. We'll go to the 9th inning. Kenley Jansen coming on to face Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts, and Freddie Freeman. This probably won't turn out well.
Trying to get me to see your view about how maybe sometimes it's not the right time. Shut up. Shut up. We're saying Merry Christmas. If you don't like it, shut up and step aside. Not 1 inch. Okay?
In there, strike 3, and he has hooked.
In 1981, a 20-year-old left-hander with a funky windup and a confounding breaking ball burst onto the scene and created a phenomenon so rare it ultimately bore his name, Fernando Mania.
Valenzuela is great. I love him. He's the greatest, and I think everybody here has Fernando fever.
Fernando Valenzuela did not possess a blazing fastball, but his screwball befuddled hitters.
Valenzuela delivers.
His delivery added to his allure. Fernando would lift his arms up over his head, then briefly turn his gaze to the bill of his cap before striding towards home plate.
In there, strike 3, and he has hooked after stop.
Fernando started opening day for the Dodgers in 1981 and went on to win each of his first 8 starts, 5 via shutout, posting a 0.50 ERA to begin the season. He ultimately became the first player, and still the only, to win Rookie of the Year and Cy Young in the same season. Although others came before him, Fernando Valenzuela established himself as the first Mexican superstar in the major leagues. Starring in LA made him an icon.
He was their hero, which was great. They needed a hero, and he represented their country in the highest degree of class, dignity, and character.
Fernando made 6 All-Star teams throughout his career, eventually becoming more workhorse than wonderkind. He led the NL with 21 wins and 20 complete games in 1986. And on April 27, 1990, in his final season with the Dodgers, he threw a no-hitter against the Cardinals.
Fernando Valenzuela has pitched a no-hitter.
Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Kenley Jansen will come on Pretty good season, 2.66 ERA. .44 innings, 44 strikeouts, 13 walks. He's set to face Shohei Ohtani, Mookie, and Freddie. First pitch on the way, rocks and fires, 92, right down the pipe. That's 1-9. Righty-lefty matchup. The 1-0 to Shohei. Swing! That ball's belted. Deep into the night, she's gone. A solo shot, and the Shohei kid hits his 43rd of the year, 79th home run, or 79th RBI. Feels like the 79th home run. And they have taken a 1-run lead. Wow. Well, I didn't want to be right about that when I said this probably won't turn out well. That was that thing was about letter high, middle of the plate, and you can't throw that to Shohei Ohtani. I'm sorry. Mookie Betts, the batter, first pitch on the way, swing, pops it back foul. It's 0-1. You're not going to get away with that with many MLB batters. But that's right in Shohei's swing zone. I mean, he looks for pitches belt high and above to lift. And I don't see that often, but he actually flipped his bat. Normally Shohei just kind of tosses it aside, but he flipped it. This is his old stomping ground, so he's probably extra fired up for this series. Man, that ball was smoked. It got out in a hurry. I mean, it was just blasted. Let's see what the tail of the tape on that was. 404 feet, and it probably left the building in about 2.6 seconds. First pitch on the way is a slider off the edge. After the 1-1, it makes it 2-1. So the 2-1 count. Righty-righty matchup. The pitch on the way. Kicks and fires. Swing and a miss. 2-2. That was Kenley Jansen. Oh, wait a minute. Y'all must be talking about something else. I thought you were asking who was pitching. The 2-2 count. Swing. Lifts it. High into right field. Camping underneath it. Adele. One away. One down, and Freddie Freeman, the batter. First pitch on the way. He'll lift that into shallow center field. Calling everybody off is Bryce T. F8 in your scorecard, 2 down. 2 down. Teoscar Hernandez, the batter. Angels still have another go at it. They'll send the bottom of the order to the plate. Yeah, I kind of caught the tail end of that, James. It's been a long night. I'm starting to see things that aren't there, so bear with me. First pitch on the way to Hernandez is a swing and a miss strike. It's 0-1. You stare at these screens for that many hours in a row. I mean, I just start seeing tracers. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. It's 0-2. And he cooked that cutter inside. Hernandez will step out of the box for a second. The 0-2 from Kenley. Turns, kicks, pauses, fires. God, look at strike three. 94 miles an hour. P at the knees, and that'll end the inning. But not before. Shohei Ohtani goes bonzo. We'll be back in a flash, back at the bottom of the order. Maybe even some Travis d'Arnaud when we return.
The best media man. Also, we're canceling all of your ongoing projects.
What about the Pawnee River Dam?
Dam's dead.
Where will all the water go?
Wherever it's headed now. The important thing is the dam is never happening, and your dream has been crushed.
We're very sorry.
I am not. Good meeting.
Everybody that goes to AA claims to be alcoholics. Well, how come I'm the only one that brought some beer?
There was a great story. Lisa Newhouse Saxon, who was a colleague of mine at the LA Daily News, she was covering the Dodgers and the Angels at a time when female sports reporters were pretty much banned. They were shunned. And she was at a game in Cincinnati covering the Dodgers, and she wanted to go into the locker room to do a story about Mario Soto. And they kicked her out of the locker room. The Reds people just had enough and sent her back. So she was just depressed. And the next day, she'd get on the team bus, and Vin was sitting there, and Vin said, "Come here, sit next to me." So she does, and Vin just said to her, without even saying what happened with the incident, he goes, "Who is it do you want to be like as a sports reporter?" She goes, "Oh, this guy is so popular, and this guy is really good." And Vin just said, "You should really just be your authentic self. Just be Lisa." And from that, it gave her this great sense of confidence. And she actually she lived near him in Brentwood, and she went to church with him. He invited her to come to church with him, and it was just one of those blessings that you can't make up. And when Vin was inducted into the Baseball Reliquary, which is this great event we have out in Pasadena every year, Lisa did the acceptance speech for him and told that story. And I knew about that story, so Lisa just that was her go-to story about Vin, this tomboy who grew up listening and wanting to play baseball, and how everyone says, "Don't meet your heroes." And she said, "No, this hero was much greater than all I could imagine."
The umpire just stood up and said goodbye. As I am saying goodbye, I have said enough for a lifetime. And for the last time, I wish you all a very pleasant good afternoon.
Rengifo will lead us off. You got a left-hander, Vesia. You got to wonder, will they bring Travis d'Arnaud off the bench to pinch hit with the left-hander on the mound? First pitch on the way. It's high and out of the zone. It's 1-0. 1-0. Rengifo 0 for 2 on the day. Steps out of the box. Vesia comes set. Lefty-righty matchup. First pitch off of that is a swing and a miss, 92-mile-an-hour fastball. It's 0-1. You consider all the names that they spent money on in the offseason. And nothing against Alex Vesia because he's a good reliever. But it's amazing that this is who is closing a one-run game for him in August. 1-1. Fouls away, 1-2. I did see that our buddy Kirby went on the IL. The 1-2 misses high, 2-2. I don't think it was a major injury. And then the other guy is fifth, 6 hour broadcasting. His name's slipping on my mind, but the guy that they signed that was traded from the Marlins last year to San Diego is the 2-2 out of the zone, full count. I don't see him on the active roster, so he must still be injured. Full count. Brings it, swings, slaps it through the hole, and that's a base hit. And here we go. Angels, 1 on, nobody out. He hit that thing on the screws. Smacks it through the hole. That'll bring Logan O'Hoppe to the plate. Time is being called as Will Smith's trying to get the... First I thought it was the pitch comp, but I think he's wanting to have a powwow on the mound. Decent speed at first base, so they may be going over that. Any kind of a game plan to stop the running game of the Angels. O'Hoppe 0 for 3 on the day. Lefty-righty matchup. First pitch on the way to O'Hoppe. A swing, fouls it straight back. It's 0-1. I think it's next weekend. Or maybe it's somewhere around August 21st that the Yankees are doing that, or is it the Mets that are doing the Seinfeld bobblehead giveaway? 0-1 in the dirt, 0-2. It's got to be the Yankees. It's the one where Costanza's he's supposed to be sleeping under his desk. They're doing a bobblehead for that. I bet someone's going to charge an arm and a leg for it to buy it online. But be cool to have the 0-2. Check foul swing back behind home plate. We'll do it again. (0-2) count. Winning run stands at home plate. The tying run at first. It's a one-run game. There's nobody out in the ninth, and there's a huge hole on the right side. The 0-2 misses high, 1-2. We'll pull the screen back. Thought they were going to give us the other angle where you could see first as well, but instead we'll pull it back so you can see any action on the field. O'Hoppe 0 for 3, a ground out, a strikeout, a pop out. He does have 18 home runs. The 1-2 swing, fists it back, foul. Will do it again. Number 8 hitter in the... What's it like to have the number 8 hitter in your order with 18 home runs? Jeez. It's like the 2023 Braves. Bryce T is standing on deck. The 1-2. Up top misses 2-2. 2-2 count. Still available off the bench for the Halos. You've got Travis d'Arnaud. You got Peraza. And Cavadas. The 2-2 misses high, 3-2. So a full count now. They check down the line, but CB Buckner, first base umpire, says no dice. The payoff pitch misses high, ball 4. He'll head on down to first. You're going to do that spitter bobblehead, that would have to be a Mets one. I'm assuming that you're talking about when was it McDowell and the Keith Hernandez episode. But this one, it's supposed to be a picture of him, or the caption is the first pitch on the way to Bryce T is bunted up the first base line. Bessie has got it, flips it to first. And it's a 1-3 put out, but both runners move up. and you've got runners on second and third and one out, and what do you do here? You could walk Zach Nato to set up the double play. If you bring the infield in, you risk opening up for the winning run to cross the plate. Man, I think I'm walking Nato. I don't even care. Because Shenwell, even though he's a left-handed batter, or mainly because he's a left-handed batter with Vesey on the mound, he's also slower than you-know-what, and that's exactly what they're going to do. And he is slow as molasses, so that kind of sets up for the double play. Now, if I'm managing, I'm bringing Travis d'Arnaud in right here to hit for Shenwell, but that's not what they're going to do. Because I'm going to give me a righty-lefty option. Vesey is nasty against left-handers. Mike Trout sits on deck. And you could have Travis play first base. He has done it in the past, but that's not what they're going to do. Lefty-lefty matchup. First pitch down and away. For slider, it's 1-0. Swing, pops it up. High into center field, that's going to tie the game. Drifting over, making the catch. Here comes the throw, and the runner will come home to score, and it's 6-6. Shenwell gets the fly ball RBI, and Mike Trout has a chance to walk it off. You got runners at first and second, 2 outs. They've got the infield back and to the left. Mike Trout, the batter, first pitch on the way, misses up top for a ball. It's 1-0. Taylor Ward stands on deck, so you can't really pitch around Trout here. They're kind of giving them the bases if they want to steal them. 1-0. Misses high, 2-0. They are so far off the bases. I feel like Nato and Peraza could easily skate. Peraza's in there for Ohapi, which means Travis d'Arnaud will come in the game if this game goes to extras. 2-0 right there on the outer edge, 2-1. He'll be behind the plate if this game goes to extra innings. Two-one count. Lefty righty. Misses high, 3-1. I don't know if Trout had a wasted career. He just signed a contract a few years back over $400 million. That's not too. Was it 452 that he signed for? And when you do that, you cripple your franchise, so you can't really complain that they're not winning. The 3-1, swing and a miss. He was going for the downs air. That's why Mike Trout has never been a winner. He's trying to hit a home run, but all he needs is a base hit. Full count. Yeah, but if you think about it, he chose that. He could have taken less money and become a free agent somewhere. He wanted all the money. So, no tears. 3-2, misses high, ball 4. And that'll load the bases. Vesey, by the way, he's at 23 pitches. I get it, people wanted to see Trout in the playoffs, but remember, they made the playoffs a couple of times. They got swept each time. Dave Roberts is going to come out and get Vesey out of the game, it looks like. Assuming he's going to go get the right-hander. He's coming out there to talk to Vesey, and yep, that's it. We'll be back in a flash. Game is on the line, bases loaded. Right-hander coming out of the bullpen. Couldn't make out who that was. I think actually, I don't know who that was because I thought it was a guy that's not listed on the roster. So never mind. We'll be back in a flash. That's going to end up being Ben Kasparius, a 4.8 ERA, 69 innings this year for the Dodgers, 63 strikeouts, 16 walks. The bases are loaded, 2 outs, game is on the line. And they better hope he doesn't come out of that bullpen cold because there's nowhere to stick Taylor Ward. First pitch on the way is a sweeper down and away, nowhere near the zone's 1-0. Well, considering the game is at the plate, we'll go ahead and cue inside here. See if they give us a good look here. If not, we'll go right behind it to 1-0. Outside wide, 2-0. 2-0 count, 2 for 4 with a solo shot and a single. 2 runs scored by Taylor Ward. He's another one that was being rumored to the Braves last year. The 2-0 misses high, ball 3-0. You're Taylor Ward. You got to take this pitch. I don't give a damn if he underhands it to you, balloons it up there. You got to take this 3-0 no matter what. The 3-0 inside. Oh, come on. That pitch missed inside by 2 inches. Home plate umpire Scott Berry giving a strike to Kasparius and the Dodgers. The 3-1, 92, right down the outer edge, full count. So a bad call by Scott Berry, the home plate umpire, just cost the Angels a walk-off. We'll see if they can bounce back. The payoff pitch, runners go, swing and a miss, strike 3. Garbage. And Ward's giving him the business. I don't blame him. We had Scott Berry behind the plate in a Braves game recently. He is arguably one of the worst umpires we saw all year, and I had never come across him before. We'll be back in a flash. Looks like Travis d'Arnaud will put on the tools of ignorance and get behind the plate.
Sometimes I think, and then I forget.
We told you don't put that in the macaroni cheese, but you insist on putting it. So since you want to do things your damn way, we're going to do it our way. We getting ready to go upstairs and go to sleep while you clean up all this Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving. We love you. But guess what? You couldn't even get a decent thing of macaroni cheese because you decided to do some bullshit you done seen off the damn internet. Don't experiment on damn Thanksgiving. Don't experiment on Thanksgiving. You experiment by your damn self.
Don't kiss your wife with a runny nose. You may think it's funny, but it's not.
Suspect doesn't believe in Santa but believes in the Cowboys every year.
Jerry Jones.
Suspects lost faith in humanity, but not the Cleveland Browns.
We got invited to a social gathering, which is the same thing as a party, except there's less fun and more cheese plates. I'm an introvert, so I park myself by the chips and salsa station while my wife goes around smiling at everyone like she's in a toothpaste commercial. She's super natural at these things. She's like, you need to smile like you're not constipated. All right, you got to show people your teeth when you smile. I'm like, dude, I'm not just going to greet a stranger and then show them all of my teeth. That'll get us invited back. I am not a wolf.
They're 6 yards away from Pontiac. 3rd and 3.
We'll see a pickup sometime on the right side, possibly.
Montana looking, throwing in the end zone. Caught it! Dwight Clark! It's a madhouse at Candlestick with 51 seconds left. Dwight Clark is 6'4". He stands about 10 feet tall in this crowd's estimation.
We are bringing you pitch by pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves all year long. Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball.
You shut up! You shut up! I'm so scared right now, you shut up! Are you doing this? No, I'm doing this.
Welcome back. Brogdon, the pitcher. Swing and a miss by Max Muncy. It's 0-1. Ghost runner at second. We'll pull the screen back so you can see what's going on. The 0-1. Chops it foul. It's 0-2. You got the number 7 hitter due up here with Muncy. After that, Paez, and then Alex Call, who came on for Conforto a couple of innings ago. Dean is your ghost runner. Is he 0-1? Or 0-2, excuse me, misses. 1-2. 1-2 count. Brings it. Swing and a miss. Change up. Strikeout. 1 away. Justin Dean, if you've been with us for spring training ball the last few years, you know Justin Dean, ex-Atlanta Brave. He was in our organization. He's dancing around over there behind second base. I don't know if that video is doing it justice, but he is doing the jitterbug back there, and he's freaking out Brogdon. Brogdon finally stepped off the bump and chased him back. Drafted by the Braves in 2018, the 17th round. It's from North Carolina. It's a change up, swing and a miss. It's 0-1. Drafted out of Lenoir-Rhyne, small college in North Carolina. He finally made it to the big leagues this year with the Dodgers. We had Justin Dean in the minor leagues the last few years following his. He was a light-hitting outfielder that never made it. But he does have very good speed, the 0-1. Right there at the knees. 0-2. (0-2) count. Outside wide, 1-2. Changeup misses. His final season with the Braves last year, Double-A, played 92 games, hit .247. So he was never terrible for a minor league player. The 1-2 lifts it deep into center field, going back on the track, making the catch at the wall for out number 2 is Bryce T. James Dean comes down third. Justin Dean comes down to third. 2 down. When he was in the minor league games for the Braves, if y'all were ever with it, you remember me calling him Jimmy Dean Sausage. It's the same guy. I didn't realize that he had gone over to the. I guess he got waived by the Braves and he went over there with the Dodgers after the spring. First pitch on the way to Alex Collis, swung on and lifted down the right field line, drifting back, making the catch is Chanel, and that'll end the inning. Dodgers go down 1, 2, 3. We got Moore, we got Adele, Rengifo, and if anybody gets on, Travis d'Arnaud.
Well, guys, I didn't believe it was true, but my husband is taking away my rights.
No.
Yes. Yes, it is. Every day, just less and less.
No.
The less yes.
That's not what I said. I said you can't have any more dogs.
It's kind of insane.
I'm sitting here working, I'm thinking to myself, I'm about to stop partying with black people. Y'all don't make enough memories like white folks. See, nowadays when you go to black parties, you got to be on guard. White people just live life to the fullest, don't give a See, white people really got this life thing down packed when it comes to these parties. You only got one life, you might as well say it, right? Black man would have been like, nah, sweat it, we've been in the club all night. White people say you only got one life. I love partying with white people. They gonna make it fun before you even leave the house.
Are y'all really out here shaving your heads? What the f? Listen, Linda. And I'm like, y'all crazy. From day one, son. I don't give a rat's monkey's ass. I ain't scalping myself for no. And then you talking about not getting none. You know what? You're gonna need a can of Raid to get the cobwebs off that before this over with. Y'all done lost your whole ass minds and then some. You just sitting around on a random Tuesday. I'm gonna Britney Spears myself and then cry about it. Cry about it. You're gonna wake up one day and be like, I'm a bald bitch for no reason. Y'all have a great day. I can't wait.
Ball game at Shea.
Oh, brother.
3-2 to Mookie Wilson. Little roller up along first. Behind the bag. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight and the Mets win it. If one picture is worth 1,000 words, you have seen about 1,000,000 words. But more than that, you have seen an absolutely bizarre finish to Game 6 of the 1986 World Series.
Welcome back. First pitch on the way. Christian Moore takes it inside. For a ball, it's 1-0. Travis d'Arnaud due up fourth in this inning. Ghost runner at second. Moore is showing bunt once again. The 1-0, down and in, 2-0. Gasperi is still out there on the mound, and he was having a hard time with the strike zone that first inning out. I'm telling you right now, if I'm Moore, I'm going to make him throw me a strike. 2-0. Drops a bunt down right in front of home plate. It is, I think he called that foul. No, they're going to say it was a fair ball. I don't know what happened there. I don't know why Will Smith didn't throw the ball. I thought he was stopping because he thought it was foul. Oh, he waited too long, and I guess he didn't want to try the throw. It died right there on the chalk. And by the time he went to go pick it up, we've got runners on the corners and nobody out, and Joe Adele, the batter. First pitch on the way, swing and a miss, 95 inside. It's 0-1. Rengifo on deck. d'Arnaud in the hole. 1 run wins it. The 0-1. Swing, chops it foul. It's 0-2. Odell 0 for 4 on the day. A fly out, a pop out, a strikeout. He does have an RBI. The 0-2 in the dirt, 1-2. The first inning, Adele grounded out to short. Taylor Ward came home to score. That's his RBI. Batting .226 on the year, but all he needs now is a fly ball to bring home the runner at third. The 1-2. Swing. Might have chased one upstairs, but fouls it back. We'll do it again. Six to 6 your score. 6 runs, 11 hits for the Dodgers. 6 runs, 8 hits for the Halos. No errors in the game. The 1-2 pops it up down the right field line. Freddie Freeman giving chase. Goes into the stands. Even if you could have caught that ball, you got to let it fall because you're never going to be able to turn and throw the runner out from third. 1-2 count. Infield in. Ward at third. The 1-2. Swing! Chops it over the head of the third baseman, Muncy, as the infield's drawn in, and that's going to walk it off. Joe Adele gets the RBI, and the Angels win it in extra 7-6. Game ball tonight, we'll give it to Travis d'Arnaud. They didn't win the game till he came in and played defense. Angels 7, Dodgers 6. Travis d'Arnaud wins the game for the Angels by catching 3 outs, and that'll do it. Angels win in walk-off fashion, still keep their playoff hopes just a little bit alive. They got to get hot. Adele, for some reason, took off his clothes, and so there's that going on. And we'll see you tomorrow night, Braves country, Atlanta Braves. Maybe his teammates ripped it off his chest. I guess they did. They ripped his shirt off. I guess he doesn't have hidden buzzers like Jose Altuve does. We'll see you tomorrow night, Braves. Or actually tonight, later tonight, we'll see you Braves and Mets. 7:10 first pitch. Till then, I'm exhausted. We'll see you. Have a great one.